is the Alchemy Kitchen, and today we're going to be making some cold smoked oven roasted crispy potatoes in cast iron. If you have a flatter griddle like this, it's not as high of an edge, it's the best, but you can just use a normal skillet as well. It's just going to help let more of the moisture escape when you put it in the oven. So first thing I'm going to do is get this preheated. I've got my oven on to 230 degrees, it's about 450 Fahrenheit, 230 Celsius. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in there and get it preheated. Alright, so next you want to get some water boiling, put some salt in there. And there's a couple tricks I've learned for making these potatoes recently that just really make them come out amazing. The first time I made these, my girlfriend even said those were the best potatoes she ever had. And she's pretty honest about her opinions on what I cook. I'm going to do a couple things different. I haven't made them cold smoked before. I have cold smoked potatoes before, and if you want to see how to do that, I've got a video showing you everything you need to know about cold smoking, including how to make your own cold smoker. It's very, very easy, and there's tons of stuff you can put in a cold smoker. So cold smoking is not cooking, it's just getting that smoky flavor to it. Normally I peel them for this recipe, but I'm going to try today without peeling them. And of course, if you don't want to cold smoke them, you don't have to. You can still follow the rest of this recipe and they're going to come out awesome. So I already washed these. I'm going to cut them up into pretty decent sized pieces because I like to have the crispy outside with kind of a soft inside. Alright, so now one of the coolest things I've learned to make your potatoes come out even better is get some baking soda. I'm going to take about half to a teaspoon, something like that, and throw that in the water. What that's going to do is like break down the pectin, the like cellular glue in the potatoes, and it makes the texture just come out awesome. It's probably the best thing I've learned in a while for cooking to do with potatoes. Alright, so I want that water to come to a full boil and then just go throw these in. In this case, I want the water boiling first. Those are going to boil for about 10 minutes and then they're perfect. You want it just to the point where you can stick a fork in, but there's a little bit of resistance. You don't want to over boil them, that's for sure. Next, I want to infuse some oil. I'm using olive oil. And you want enough just to coat the potatoes really well, so depending on how many potatoes you made. And in that, you put your aromatics. I'm going to use some chopped up garlic. And some fresh herbs. I just picked what I happen to have growing in the garden still, which is some sage and some thyme. Rosemary would be great, but they didn't have any at the store, and my plant is dormant for the winter. And there's also a bit of oregano in here. And I filled this pretty high. That's a little trick I'll throw in, is put a wooden spoon over there. That stops it from boiling over. I just want to brown this garlic and the herbs, get the flavors infused into the oil. After that's done, I'm going to strain everything out and put the garlic and the herbs aside for later. That way you don't burn it in the oven with the potatoes. 10 minutes are up, so time to take these off. You want to take a colander. And strain out those potatoes. And here is yet another thing I've learned to make your potatoes come out a lot better. Once you strain them off, you see they're coming out lots of steam. So I just put that pan right over the hot burner. I turned it off, but it's still hot. And leave it there for a while. That steam's gonna evaporate out some of the moisture, which is your enemy when you want to make potatoes crispy in the oven. So we're gonna let that cool down. Meanwhile, garlic's just starting to brown, so it's about ready. And we'll come back in a couple minutes after the steam's stopped. Now that the steam has died off, I'm going to go ahead and throw these in a big bowl. Season them with some salt and pepper. And I like to throw some paprika on there as well. It also gives it a nice color. Now we're going to take that infused olive oil. That is still freaking hot. And run it through a strainer. And that'll all get added back to it after they're done cooking. Now we're going to mix these up. And you want to be a bit rough with them when you do this. It does something to the texture of them where they come out better. So I've got my preheated cast iron, nice and piping hot. Normally I try to make a single layer. The problem with these is it's like you never make enough when they come out this good. So as close as you can to a single layer. That's going to go back in the oven at 450 Fahrenheit, 230 Celsius for 20 minutes, and then we're going to come and flip them. So 20 minutes in the oven. Take a look at them and give them a flip. Already looking quite good. And from this point on, I'm going to leave them in for, it could be 20, 30, 40 minutes till they get to that nice dark color. And every 10 minutes or so, I'm going to flip them around again. Alright, so I had these in for an additional 20 minutes, flipping them every 10 minutes. They're piping hot, let one cool. And from here, I'm just going to put them back into this bowl, add the sauteed garlic and herbs, and some fresh parsley on it. Goes good. And we'll give it a try. See how the outside's really perfectly crispy. Well, the inside is still kind of soft. It's very good this way. I've got some smoked beef in the slow cooker. We're going to throw these together into some burritos. Thanks for watching. Till next time.